Hi everyone, I'm Christy and wanted to make this little video as we are getting very close to the end of the first challenge. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm sure if you're watching this, you're at least somewhat trying to still comply and still hang in there. And I realize that there's probably a lot of you who fall on all sides of the spectrum, whether you're just like, woo, we're gonna do this, seeing it through, just 100% perfection. You want to be that person who just blows everyone away, or whether you're someone that's just kind of, maybe you're following one meal a day or something, or at least trying to do something, and wherever you fall, that's okay. That's totally okay. So the reason I want to make this is talking about some of the different oppositions and things that have come your way inevitably. So just kind of trying to help you mentally process through a few of these things. So you may have discovered this one, which is you accidentally or even purposefully eat something that's outside of your plan, something you didn't plan to do, and that guilt that comes, whether it's, oh my gosh, I ate the wrong vegetable. Okay, heaven forbid, don't, because there's exchanges, right? Or, okay, donuts came into the office, or gosh, that person just brought a plate of cookies over to my house at night, and I just couldn't control myself. What's wrong with myself? And so you eat that thing, and the tendency of most people is this all or nothing thinking. You're either in it or you're out. And so you would kind of get trapped and think, well, I already messed up, so guess I better enjoy this, and I'll just count it as my indulgence, and and we hold this whip in our hands, and we kind of go, and we're angry at ourselves, and I do, just because I talk to more women open up to me than the men about the actual real emotional side of it. But I'm sure that being a man too, you're probably going to experience a little bit of this too. So, but being very, very hard on yourself and thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? Why do I continue to fail over and over and over? And that's number one problem. I never want you to use the word fail, because you didn't fail. Sure, you chose something that's a little bit outside of what your plan was, but failure is only when you give up and stop trying. So if you're watching this video, you have not stopped trying, okay? You're still hanging in there. So just pick yourself up, and that's all this is about, is just being a little bit better than we were before. That doesn't mean we're going constantly up, 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 up. That may mean that we're up and down, but trying to be just that little bit better. Okay, so that's the number one thing. We would need to train yourself to, if that oops happens, not to beat yourself up. All that you should be saying is, yep, it happened, back to power foods we go. Okay, I could sit here and tell you the physiological problems with going and just saying, well, that day's over, I guess I'll just enjoy it and go crazy. I've lived my life like that, and it's horrible, not only on your emotions, but your body. Okay, so we've got to cut that. We've just got to cut that down. It's okay if you mess up at 8 a.m. If that Rice Krispie was just calling your name and you're like, I just couldn't do it. Does that mean the whole day's a waste? No. Get on the wagon, jump back in there, you'll be fine. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Okay, second thing. Now, I know a lot of you have experienced this kind of joy once I talked about how PVF meals could fall anywhere. The PVCs and PVS, I started out with the separation meal 1, 2, 3, 4 of PVCs and the PVFs in the final 2 meals as a way of teaching you the strategy that carbs come earlier in the day and fats come later in the day. Does that mean that we should be perfect in this structure? No. If you want PVF for breakfast, great. I love avocado on my egg whites. But does that mean I should be having a cup of oats too, a carb? No. And, okay, but going back to that, is it a bad thing if I do? No, it's just not as strategic. That's all these principles are trying to teach, is simply thinking differently about food and thinking, what's a complete meal? And thinking, okay, my carbs are going to impact my energy levels because of glucose, and they're going to impact insulin. So if I eat a carb at night, that's probably not going to be strategic to losing body fat, because the environment of my body as I sleep is very important. So that's how we look at carbs. Then we look at protein and we say, we need protein constantly. If I have my protein, I'm going to be helping strategize myself against any sugar cravings later. Even my parents have told me it makes a big difference when you are trying to get that protein. No, that doesn't mean you're a bodybuilder. No, that doesn't mean you're going to put on this inordinate amount of muscle, so chillax. And protein is there for us to have an influx of amino acids and for us to feel full. It's a satiety or feeling satisfied type of approach. And lastly, those fats. So if we think about fats, they're there for us to, not only is it like a transporter for those vitamins, the essential vitamins A, E, D, K, but they release this hormone called CCK, and they help us feel full. Okay, and so they don't impact our insulin like carbs do. So are they better at night? Yeah. Does that mean we can only have them at night? No. And so this is just hopefully helping you look at food differently. This 8-week challenge is so much more about helping train your brain than to reach the ultimate goal. My goal for you is for you to look at food differently, for you to be thinking, for you to be more aware. Because every single one of you has a different body, every single one of you has a different goal, lifestyle, and taking what I give you each week and saying, how do I adapt this to my life and my goals? It's not saying this is the way or the highway, because there's so much out there like that, and I'll tell you right now, it's not. I feel like for every little thing I say, I need to put a little asterisk that says, this depends on your body type, your gender, your goal, your size, your age. It's true. Okay, there is no absolutes in this game. There are no. And so we need to be careful. Anytime you hear someone say the word always, you got to think twice and say, is this right? So anyway, with these little things in mind, I just want you to really think about how can you do better about just working on the identification of foods. Are you making good exchanges? Do you have your power foods list on your fridge? These are important things to make sure you do, and that's part of this overall training. The 8-week challenge will be a continuous part of Body Buddies. So you are free to, continue doing it as long as you like, because this is about giving you some structure. This is about helping you in maybe thinking outside the box of what you're perhaps used to. And if you stick with me long enough, you're going to have all these different ideas of ways to eat and create variety, but in our parameter of power foods, because I can't tell you how many times I read a new article or see a new spotlight or somebody talks about something in health and fitness, and I just can't even tell you how many times I'm just like, and that's why we follow the power foods lifestyle. There's just truth to it, okay? And I see it over and over and over. I see so many of you just feeling so great, so in control, and seeing the physical results of it too. So keep with it. Just be a little bit better than you were yesterday. That's all this is about. So let's throw perfection out the door, okay? And let's finish this challenge strong. So talk to you soon.